That concludes our interview today, Greg. Thanks for your time and good luck the rest of the season. Any questions for me?
Actually, I do have some questions I would like to ask, so if we can switch spots, that'd be great. Okay. Catching up with the sports information director here at UWM, this is Chris Zills. I was just trying to imitate you a little bit.
Good afternoon, Greg.
Could we just get a brief history of yourself?
Wow, a brief history of myself. Born and raised in Fond du Lac, went to college, UW La Crosse, graduated from college, started my professional sporting career with the Milwaukee Brewers, spent 2 seasons with them. Then I worked for about a year and a half as the public relations director for the La Crosse Bobcats, which no longer exist, so not too many people are going to know that name. And then after that, I was at Marian University as a sports information director for about 3 years, and I have been at here in Milwaukee for the past 7. So,
perfect. You received your undergrad from La Crosse, correct?
Correct.
And your master's from Marian?
Correct.
Perfect. Just want to clarify on that. When you're growing up, a lot of kids like to make goals as to what their career would be like when they're older. Firefighters, policemen, professional sports players, models. What would it be? What was yours growing up as a kid? What were your career aspirations growing up?
When I was a little kid, I always wanted to be a baseball player. Unfortunately for me, that talent level only got me through high school.
Okay.
So, stick with sports. It's been a fun career. I've been doing it for quite a while now, and if you're a sports junkie like me, I think this is one of those roles that you'll find a lot of fun in.
Perfect. Your family, you have 2 kids, Lucas and Quinn. Quinn was at Miller Park, has been there ever since I've played at Miller Park as well in my career. Are there things that you kind of push them towards as far as sports goes, or you said you're a sports junkie. Do you see yourself kind of introducing them to sports in the same way that you like it, or do you just let them go about their business each day and develop their own, obviously, goals or career aspirations,
I think it's been a little bit of both from both of my boys because, with Dad being around, working around sports for his job, then they end up being around sports just by default. Yeah. So, I clearly haven't pushed them into anything at this point, but Quinn's all set to be a Major League Baseball player already. He's been hitting off the tee since he was 2, and now he's making Dad throw him overhand pitches in the backyard and hitting those across the street. So it's fun watching them go and like I said, in each direction, because at this point Lucas seems to like football and soccer better than baseball. But whatever they want, I'll help them out. But I'm certainly not pushing him anything at this point.
Perfect. We're gonna switch gears to baseball now. More importantly, Panther baseball. What's your most memorable moment, the baseball program, and why?
My most memorable moment, I'll never forget 2010 Horizon League Championship game, the one where we won. With 1 out in the 9th, I was up in the press box and I had a live blog going, and I told the bloggers, I said, "I'll be right back. I got somewhere to be," and I was sitting next to the dugout, next to the fence for that final out, and when Amdrew got that ground ball and threw across the diamond, I ran out there right with everyone and got the videotape of that dog pile, so to speak, and it was just a really neat moment for everyone.
If you want to see that video, it's on YouTube, probably under UWM Baseball Championship Game 2010, something like that. His steady hands are the ones working the camera.
Yeah, a little shaky.
Next, who are a few of your most memorable Panther players? Since you've
Panther
been here?
Players? Well, you, of course.
It's got to be one of them for sure.
The seniors from last year will always stick with me. DeConing, Kraft, Chad Pierce, and Sam Civilati. That was a really good group of kids. But from the past, Sean Wagner, Ben Long, Kyle Silver, Sean Wagner. Did I say Sean already?
Yeah,
sorry.
Twice.
Well, I guess apparently Sean really stuck out for me. Jesse Hart.
Okay. So
those are the ones that come to mind right away.
Perfect. Once again, this year, baseball, we went on a lot of trips. California, East Carolina. Some of those you weren't on. Which trip would you say is the one you most regret not being on?
For this year, absolutely the California trip. Some great competition, some great games, and the intern got to go.
Tim was great, but are you sure you don't miss California just so you could catch up on your tans?
That would probably be helpful as well.
Perfect. Next, as an official scorer, you oversee a lot of the decisions, I guess, in the box, as far as earned runs, errors, hits, what have you. Are there any certain strategies in scoring at home versus scoring away, as far as saving the pitcher's ERA, getting guys extra hits? Like, do you fight? Like, are you at other scorers' throats when we're on the road, trying to get our guys hits or earned runs off the board? Can you just explain that a little bit?
Well, obviously every scorer has their own interpretations of what's an hit and what's an error. Sometimes I think my opinion is weighted a little more heavily than it should be. But certainly, I mean, I don't go about trying. That's not my goal, to try and protect ERAs, even though pitchers would love to have that. Oh, you got a glove on it, it's an error. Mm-hmm. I just try and take every play, separate it and judge it on its own merits. And if it's a hit, it's a hit. If it's an error, it's an error. But then certainly, I feel like I've in going on a lot of trips over the past 7 years that I've been here, I've helped tweak a couple of scoring decisions that may have helped players on our teams.
All right.
So
perfect. Yeah, because we in the dugout, when there's a questionable play, we always think we have you in our back pocket. So can we keep thinking that, or?
Well, let's go to last night. Did you guys think that Paul Haneke's was a hit or an error in the first inning?
All right. Well, we appreciate that very much. What's next? I was going to ask you about the Saints and Bounty Gate, but he's a big fan of the Saints, but no one really cares about them around here. You are a member of the College Sports Information Directors of America.
Yes. Since
2001, I see, where you've received several national publication awards, 16 to be exact. One stands out to me the most. It's Best in the Nation for your cover in 2009 of the men's soccer program. What can we do here to get ourselves a best cover, Best in the Nation, for the baseball program? I know you're very happy about that, and the cover is great. You should see it. It's like it's goalie hands on a ball. It's really good. You did good work. But what can we do here to get ourselves the best cover in the nation?
Well, I think this year's one might have a chance. Okay. Otherwise, if next year, if you want to come back and we can have you holding a bat and put you on the cover, I'm sure that would be a no-brainer then at that point in time.
Touche. You got me on that one. Lastly, one word to describe your career at UWM this far. One word.
Entertaining.
Perfect. We want to thank you for all the work you do. He does a lot of hard work. All these SIDs do, sports information directors that are behind the scenes. They're behind media guides, game write-ups, interviews, what have you. We want to, as student athletes and a leader of the baseball team, want to thank you for all the work that you do on road trips, putting up with us on the bus, putting up with us at the hotel, getting food, whatever it is. We really appreciate all the hard work you guys put in and behind the scenes for us. So we appreciate it. Just want to shake your hand.
Well,
it's been a good 4 years.
Certainly didn't expect this, but
I have a soft side.
Thank you.
Yep. That concludes our interview.